Hey guys, it's Shelyn. So today I'm gonna be doing a Q&A and I actually already filmed this video and I tried because I wanted to get it up like last Friday and Monday, and I couldn't find it when I was trying to download it onto my laptop. It wouldn't show up, and then I tried emailing it to myself, and then it only emailed like a little portion of it, and so I was getting so frustrated, so I was like, fine, I guess I'll do it again. A week later, here I am filming it again. So I honestly didn't think I was gonna get very many questions, and because I have good friends, they just posted a lot of questions, but they're good questions. So from all the questions, there's only one person I didn't know who asked a question, but I have some friends who ask like a lot of questions. But hey, they're good questions, and this is all more horse training related. There's a few that are more personal, but I guess they're all personal, my preference towards things. So yes, just a disclaimer, I am very much a Clinton Anderson fan, so if you guys don't like him, then I don't know what to tell you. I can respect it though. Yes. Okay, so I'm using my phone to film, and so I have to use my laptop to see the questions. So I'm looking down a lot. It's okay. I'm just looking at questions. So the first two questions basically are the same thing, and they're from my friend Brooke and Kayla. So Brooke asks, what are the main things you try to look for when buying a horse? Kayla asks, what are the main requirements you like the horse to have when looking at a horse? So to answer that question, I am not very picky when I am picking out a horse to train. It depends what I'm looking for at that time. In the past, all I wanted was a horse to train. In the past, I mostly looked for quarter horses though, because those are what people more lean towards when they were looking for a horse to buy, because I like to buy horses to train and sell. Basically what I really like to do is find a horse that's kind of broken down, you know, doesn't have much to it, bring out its potential, and then find it a good home. And so that's what it just really depends the situation. If I were to look for a horse right now, I would look for a registered horse. Honestly, I'm not too picky with my requirements. I just want to get a horse that I can bring out its potential and find it a good home. I really do care about finding a horse a really good home. When I have a horse, they become my own for that little bit, and I really do get connected to them. So I really am focused on trying to find them a really good home that will bring out their potential. Alright, so question number 2 from my friend Julia. She asked, what are some red flags to you when looking at a horse, from the horse and from the seller? You know, I'm terrible at this because I know these questions they're not in my level of expertise. Yes, I've bought horses, and honestly, the one horse I bought, the owner, I went there was like 50 horses and they were all super malnourished. I bought this horse, he was super underweight, and then later I found she was on news for horse neglects, like a little bit later, not much longer. So that could have been a situation where I backed out, but I just, his name was Weasley, not only was he in a really bad situation, but I saw that he had a lot of potential. He had terrible feet, everything about him was like, no, don't get him, and he ended up dying because he had hernia rupture. Like, this horse was just all problems, but I just saw so much potential, and the little time that I had with him was awesome, and he was such a good horse. And yeah, so how I see it is, if the seller, obviously you can tell if they're lying. If you can tell that they're lying, that's when it's really good to get a vet check. Vet checks are good anyway. I'm guilty and don't always do them, but don't follow my example. It was just in one of those situations where I was like, hey, I'm taking the horse, you know? So especially when you can tell the owner might seem like a liar, you definitely will probably want to do a vet check. Make sure it's the same age, you know, sound, just anything like that. That's another big thing. I look to see if the horse is sound. From the owner, I kind of have this view that, hey, I'm only going to be dealing with them for a little bit if I'm getting this horse. Once I have the horse, it's mine. I don't have to deal with the owner ever again. So I don't know if that's what she was asking, but that's kind of my thought process. Okay, my friend Kayla asked, what made you choose the Clan Anderson method versus other forms of training? So I was introduced to the Clan Anderson method about a little over 8 years ago when I got my first horse. My brother introduced me to the method because she wasn't trained, and I followed his method, but then again I was like, I can do what I want, and so I didn't like follow perfectly. But I started finding when I'd look up other, like I was trying to teach my horse something, I'd look up ways to do it from other trainers, and I just wasn't getting the same results. Clan Anderson is an awesome trainer, not only with horses, but with people. He's really good at teaching people. And so, yeah, there are probably trainers out there that are a lot better than him, but he is so good at teaching people. You can go find information easily. He has a YouTube channel with hundreds of videos of horse training. So it's just, you can find information. He's easy to learn from. It's just, I don't know, I just really like how he teaches, and his method has worked on all the horses I've worked with. It makes sense to me. Other people, you know what, maybe it doesn't fit them, and that's totally okay. I personally think it works for me. Some tips when expecting, this is from my friend Brooke, some tips when inspecting your horse's hooves. Okay, I'm just going to say straight up, I do not have enough knowledge to really answer this question. I know that some horses can have flat feet, for sure, and which will make their feet more sensitive. They're the horses who probably might need shoes over horses that, you know, have more solid, not as flat feet. I know there's obviously flaring that happens when you don't trim your horse regularly. Their feet kind of start to flare out, and cracks can be caused from that. And with cracking, I'm just going to say where it looks worse than it is. There's surface cracking, which I've had with my horses, especially because Indy, she had bad feet where I got them, so she always had like flat, flary feet, if you get what I'm saying. So she always had cracking, but it looked bad, but it was just surface cracking. So, don't get me wrong, surface cracking can lead to worse, you know, deeper cracks, and it can lead to bad things. So I'm just not saying ignore it, but, you know, take care of it. It's not something that you really have to worry about. So I'm not that knowledgeable with feet. I can't give that much information about hooves and stuff. So there you go. Brooke and my friend Kayla, they basically asked the same question again. Brooke said preferred horse breed and why, and Kayla said if you could choose any horse breed and lineage, color, training, how tall and sex would you choose? So preferred horse breed and why. For Western, I definitely am obsessed with quarter horses. I love how they're built. I love how athletic they are. I love the quarter horses that are more solid and level-headed, not the lean ones. Nothing wrong with them. I just personally don't prefer them. English-based, I really want a thoroughbred Percheron cross. I just love how big they are and how they have that horse look, but they're kind of just like still big, you know? And so, but I also love just thoroughbreds as well a lot. Like I have 2 of them, and I would have more if I could. So, yeah. Choose any horse breed, any lineage. With my thoroughbreds, I know Stormcat makes a good jumper, but honestly, I don't care as much. I'm not a huge competitor. Yes, I'm kind of starting eventing. I don't know how far I'm going to get with that. I'm not a huge competitor, so I don't care for that. What breed, what lineage it has. For quarter horse, I want a horse from like a granddaughter or grandson from Hollywood Done It. Their build and I really want to get into reining horses and training horses for reining, so I think that would be super cool. How tall? Quarter horse, about 14 and a half, 15 and a half hands. For my thoroughbred Percheron cross, or just thoroughbred, 16 to maybe 17 and a half hands. Sex, I'm definitely a mare person, so definitely mares. My friend Kayla asks, what horse is your favorite horse to ride out of your 3? For you guys don't know, I have 3 horses. I have Whoopi. She's an Arabian quarter horse mutt. We've had her whole life. She was an accident, but we've had her for 22 years. Then we have Rory, she's a thoroughbred. I've had her for almost 3 years. And Charlie, I've had him since September, October, November, about 5, almost 6 months. So, he's a off-the-track thoroughbred. They're great for different things. Whoopi's a blast to jump. She's fun on the trail as long as she's not prancing. She just walks super fast and she gets where she's going. So she's really fun there. But I really love riding Rory. She is just really, when she's been worked with consistently, she's just super level-headed and athletic and just willing and fun. Charlie's really fun too. He's big and he's willing, and you know, they're all just fun for different reasons, but probably Rory at this point, just because she does have the most training on her, and so she can do a lot of stuff, and it's just fun. I love it. Okay, my friend Julia asked, what are some ground exercises on the ground to do with your horse, something the horse will enjoy as well? Something that is fun for them. So there's a lot of things you can do on the ground. I am an avid groundwork person. I think it can change so many problems when a horse is being an idiot, basically. So you can get them to disengage their hindquarters and forequarters. You can get them to back up on the ground with, just while being in front of them. So a lot of desensitizing. Desensitizing is awesome. You got lunging exercises, circle driving exercises, C pattern exercises, sending exercises. You're sending them between objects, bringing them on obstacles, though. Horses seem to really enjoy that. Their ears kind of just perk up and they're like, yes, I'm picking up my feet. I'm going over jumps, over hills, over ditches, whatever, just lunging them over obstacles. They just seem to really, really enjoy that. And just switching things up, not sticking to doing the same thing all the time, because that gets so boring for the horse, especially with lunging. They get so bored just going around and around in circles. It's just really good to really switch it up for them. They like that. And yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. Okay, so my friend Carissa says, what is your biggest straining strength? No. What is your biggest training strength? I personally think my biggest training strength is I'm really good at staying calm in crazy situations, dangerous situations. Almost maybe too calm, honestly. But that is one thing, is if a horse is freaking out, I'm able to stay calm and handle the situation pretty darn well. I also feel like I'm pretty decent at feel and timing. That just comes with experience, and I feel like I'm pretty decent at it. Obviously, I could use a lot of work still, but I still feel like I'm pretty decent at it. Biggest training weakness is I can get really lazy when I'm working with my own horses. Because they're my horses, I might not put as much work into something that they could be great at. I know how to teach them to be great at it. I just get lazy and don't put the work in. And in the end, it kind of bites me in the butt. And then I look back and I'm like, well, duh, And so that's probably the biggest thing, is I can get lazy